Okay, so we were running around here, and, well, we are encumbered, and also, we believe that we will be here on a future occasion, and that we perhaps don't necessarily need to be going and exploring absolutely everything here right now. So I think for that reason, we're probably just gonna fast travel out of here to sell some stuff.
Tired for some reason.
And let's just remind me which quest we are thinking of going at next. Probably whatever's lowest here. Oh, we have, in fact, now finished Paper Chase. Oh, that's right, okay. We, in theory, could go back to Beauclair, wrap up Paper Chase, sell some of the stuff that we have, and then we were doing the Wine Wars quite a bit, and we have sorted things out for Coronata and Vermentino, but then we learned about the third location, and I forget, I think we were talking about this previously. Were we saying that it is okay at this stage to talk to these people, or should we go first to the third place that we learned about where supposedly the person who is sabotaging their vineyards is located? This one. But either way, I think first things first is we're going to head back to Beauclair. So let's make that happen. I assume there's a fast travel spot here. There is. Okay, great. Just to be sure, probably safest to go to the third place first. Okay, gotcha. We go to the third place first, because that makes a lot of sense. No, you know what I mean. The place that we learned about most recently is the place we should go to first, just in case, because basically the two initial vineyards were accusing each other of sabotage, saying it was all their fault, and so, you know, if we were to go there first, to either of those places first, then there's a chance that maybe we wouldn't have all the evidence we need to say to them, no, it's not who you think it is. Whereas if we solve everything with whatever the potential sabotager is, then that would presumably be easier for us to make the case that, hey, it's not who you think it is, it's this other person or group of people, and we have everything you need to know to prove that that is the case. Okay, can we... There we go. Use the fast travel spot. It was, not so cooperative there. Yeah, okay, so we... Which one do we have? Knight's Tales. I think... Did we... Yeah, we were just exploring this area, and we happened across this one. Although, I mean, if we're going to end up heading back to Beauclair, then we may not necessarily do this next. Because, of course, we're going to be back in this location, and may make sense to just go back to trying to prioritize the lowest level quests first. But either way, let's see. So we're going for the bank, which is closest to... I assume... Brown Place? Okay. Isn't... In fact, we could probably just... Why don't we activate Paper Chase here real quick? Should be quite close, I think. Yeah, it's like right directly in front of us. More or less. I mean, we are not yet unencumbered. Oh. So that'd be kind of convenient, but I'm hoping that we aren't going to be sent on a wild goose chase anymore.
Master Witcher!
What is it?
Got your coin, sir. And a wee gift to thank you for the trust you showed. This blade's the Reckoner. It saved my arse a fair
Dare not
number
speak
of
its name.
times.
Thanks, Chanfanelli. We'll call it even.
One last thing. I'd like to apologize for the whole mingin' kerfuffle.
Hey, you're not to blame. Okay, so let's take a quick look at it. I feel like it looks interesting. It feels like it's oddly proportioned. That's a normal 10.5 sword or what have you. But as for the stats and what have you, armor piercing. Oh, I like the crit. I like the crit damage. Wait, actually, I should do this to compare. It is a little bit higher base damage. It is better armor piercing and crit damage. It doesn't have the nifty things that we get from Iris, which was cool to use. I did it on occasion when it looked like it was fully charged up. I'm not sure how practical it really was. It was, you know, It's fun, but maybe at the end of the day, not actually the best sword we have, at least not at this stage. Might make sense to stick with the Reckoner. And I was starting to think, the name does sound a little bit familiar. Is this a sword from The Witcher 2, possibly? Possibly even Witcher 1. So I feel like, I mean, we've definitely seen some that were the same swords that we got in The Witcher 1 and The Witcher 2. Like Harval in The Witcher 1 was the one that we got back when we fought dragons on a remote island in the swamps. In The Witcher 1, that is. What else? We got Gwahir, however you say it, which was the great sword that we got in the remote village near the end of the game. I know Harpy is one that we can craft, although we might not be at a high enough level for it yet. So there are definitely a lot of callbacks to that. I just don't remember if Reckoner is one of those or not, because the name does sound familiar. You know, above and beyond the In Rainbows reference. It's actually too high level for us to use. Wow. And it does mean that the base damage is fairly high. Don't remember any of the sword names. Okay, no worries. Okay, and did you play in English or did you play in Polish or some other language for that matter? So, if so, then that would be very understandable. Like, yeah, you know, it's a totally different name in my language, and it probably doesn't directly translate, so I have no idea what the names are for Witcher 1 or Witcher 2 swords. In which case, fair. Definitely fair. Okay. So paper chase complete, which is perhaps something that I never thought I'd hear myself say, but let's head over to sell some of our stuff, because we are, of course, still encumbered. And just remind me, what is technically the best direction to go for that? I mean, got all the armorers and blacksmiths down here, so it might be best to go in this direction. Did play them all in English, but it's been a while. No worries. I mean, Witcher 1. When did that initially come out? Was that like 2007? Something like that? It's a long time ago. If you played it when it first came out and then haven't played it since then, yeah, that is, I can't say I blame you for not remembering that one. I played all of them one right after the other. So I played Witcher 1 a little over a year ago at this stage, which does sound a little strange, saying those two things together. Oh yeah, played them one right after the other. That was a year ago, but that's how long it's taken us to do the Witcher 3 here. In fact, come to think of it, I believe our first Witcher 3 stream was almost exactly a year from today. I think it was a few more, it'd have to be, you know, like a few days from now, I think, ultimately. But, let's see. Let's go. Got a few blacksmiths and what have you around here. You played them all when 3 was already out. Okay, so somewhat similar to me, although presumably not quite as recently as I did. And also, whoever's watching on YouTube can now perhaps do the math to figure out how large the backlog is right now. Yeah, it's absolutely humongous at the moment, in case you didn't know. But this is this the Master Dude? I think it is.
What do you have on offer?
Let's sell to you. Presumably you will buy things for the most monies. And I think we're just gonna sell, and we won't sell Iris, but other than that, we might sell just about everything else. This guy is loaded, so we should be able to sell everything and not worry too much about that. I think we've established that all these items that we have here are ones that we could, in theory, buy from... Ooh. This is better base armor rating. It does come with a little bit of vitality. Though it doesn't have that crit hit damage bonus, which pretty huge factor. In addition to crit chance and bonus gold, I mean, those are just great stats above and beyond the armor rating. So it's going to be a little bit hard to replace our existing gear. I mean, if something has significantly better stats and it's light armor, then we'll definitely strongly consider it. So that might mean that we're waiting until we get the master crafted armor from this guy once we do get all those things set up. But that's another thing we're doing recently, is we were starting to look at picking up all of the Witcher School gear, and we might have even... Did we get one of them? Hold on. Did we finish getting one of them? I know we were early stages for that, and we may have just been talking about it, but let me double check. I know we were talking about Manticore, I think it was. Grandmaster, no, Griffin. We do have Griffin, or at least some of them. That, I think, was a little bit earlier, though. So we could... Whoa. Infused Slizzard Hide. That sounds... Oh, you have it. Wow, I was going to say, that sounds like something that's extremely rare and potentially quite hard to get. But, let's take a look here. So, bunch of sign intensity, that is the general idea behind all the Griffin School gear. But yeah, I think we have like half the Grandmaster Griffin School stuff. But not all of it. That one was kind of split into two separate places where you get the recipes for them. Like chest armor, for example. Do we have it there? And I think we could make Order of the Flaming Rose, which was, like I said, I think stylishly, or from an aesthetic standpoint, probably still up there, if not my very favorite. But, which could mean we'd put it on one of our stands back home. In fact, we might already have, I think we do have one of them on stands over there. So maybe we're already set with that. But, other than that, the various Blood and Wine based armors, like the Ducal Guard Captain and what have you, those are definitely higher level stuffs. And out of curiosity, so that's medium weight. Okay, that comes with Vitality. It might be something we consider in the future, although not necessarily sure we're all that keen on it. But it doesn't look like we have any additional types of Witcher School gear just above and beyond that Griffin School stuff. But we will likely make Griffin School. We will certainly make Cat School. And I don't know what the deal is with the Manticore. Oh, also, we sold some things, but we maybe could sell a little bit more. Hold on. Dahlia is one that I think was from Witcher 1 or Witcher 2, and so that one might have been something that I was saying that ideally we would stash. And if we have several of those things on our persons at the moment, then that does mean that is weighing us down at least a bit. So that may mean it's worth taking a quick stop off at the house at Corvo Bianco in order to get rid of some of that extra weight. And tell you what, while we're here, we should probably break down all of our, or either sell or break down all of our valuable gems and whatnot. The hide is also craftable. Yeah, because we fought the Slizzards a while back, so I was a little bit surprised that we didn't have it. I was thinking to myself, maybe it's a crafting material that you get from fighting the Slizzards, and then you don't get it from anywhere else, and that's the only way you can get it for that reason, so basically is a way of limiting you to only getting one round of the Witcher School gear, which would make some sense, given how it's, you know, like, one of the best types of armor in the game. I mean, there's no real way of abusing that if you could make 5 different copies of it, but it would make some sense, I think, still. Okay, so if we are to sell all of our gold and silver and jewels and what have you, and we have enough of them that we should probably make a point of selling them to whoever pays the most for them. Do we know if, like, this guy will buy armor and weapons for a high price, presumably, given how he's blacksmith, but for valuable gems, is this the right type of person to sell things to, or is there like do the general traders actually, like the generic ones, they actually buy them for more, or like tavern keepers or what have you? Do we know? Because I mean, we have like, I assume, potentially several thousand crowns worth of stuff here, so we probably should, if there is any sort of significant difference, we should probably make some effort to sell it to the right person. No idea. Okay, I mean, then again, like, we're on nearly 70,000 crowns, and there's not too many other things that we're expecting to buy other than just that Witcher School gear. I think we're going to have more than enough money for that, so it probably doesn't matter too much at this stage. We should be fine. So let's just take a look, though, at just how much we're going to make out of this, because I'm quite curious, given just how much we have of all this stuff. So we're at 68,939, or like just short of 69,000. So let's sell everything. And this guy might not even be able to afford it. So he is 15,500. That might actually be an easier way to keep track of it. But let's sell everything, and we'll see how much we actually gain. Like, that's 1,000 right there, just from that one group of valuables. I'm curious to see. Because it just really felt like it was adding up to some exorbitant amount, given just how frequently we were picking them up. Let's keep the silver, because that's potentially a crafting item. Now, that's surprisingly not very valuable. Selling gold rings for 6 coins apiece? That feels like that might be worth breaking that down into components, because gold, I think, does get used for some of the high-level crafting stuff. So, like, that's not very valuable, whereas the gold mug is, for whatever reason. And the gold candelabrum is a little more valuable. Yeah, so I think maybe we break that down, but sell these. Let's try that. And that means that we, got about 3,000 crowns from selling all that stuff? A little bit more than that? So, yeah. Fairly significant. I mean, we definitely got more than that when we went on our crazy Skellige selling spree. But, other than that, I mean, we could even continue to sell various crafting materials to this guy, because he will buy them, and he, like I said, he's loaded. Like, do we need 82 chitinous shells? Probably not. Can we sell 400 crowns worth of them to this guy? Probably. So why not just add to the list? We have over 100 pearls? Wow. Okay. I know we can... Whoa, that is valuable. Oh my goodness. I know we can turn this into some crafting materials, but again, like, how many do we realistically need? Why not get 3,650 crowns, I say, and still have 57 pearls? That seems like a decent idea. As for the black pearls, are these actually worth any more? They might be. They might be. Again, we'll make sure we keep some. And by some, I mean 40. Should definitely be enough. But I think those are probably a little bit harder to go back and get more of. So I want to be a little bit safer with that. Whereas like monster saliva, I think we can get from pretty generic enemies. Probably fine to just sell a bunch of that. Same with monster blood. All of these things are generally less valuable. Yeah, so we are almost at 80,000. In fact, if this guy doesn't have enough money to get us all the way up to 100,000, but and if we sold all of our various excess crafting and alchemy items, then we could probably get there. Especially if I mean, you would think that things like rubies would be the most valuable, but as it turns out, I think through sheer volume, our pearls and black pearls were actually the thing that were worth the most there. Dragon scales, also fairly valuable. I'm surprised we have so many of those. Wow. Wonder if an individual dragon can drop numerous copies of those, because they're not the most common enemy, but I don't think we fought 57 of them either. That seems like a lot. But okay. That's all interesting stuff. Is there anything else that actually weighs anything that we could sell, though? Because that's the initial reason why we were heading over here. We did get other kinds of blinders and saddles and stuff like that for Roach, which I do think I want to stash that. Anything that is equally powerful, but just a stylistic preference, I feel like I'd prefer to stash that. And then if the mood strikes us, then we have the option of going back and switching to that other set of things. Where's the door? There's the door. So that, you know, that kind of is the idea behind getting different kinds of Witcher gear, along with the different kinds of of armor for Roach, or saddles and what have you for Roach. Okay, so we should probably just go to fast travel spot, right, and go to Corvo Bianco. So I think most of our other things that we're holding on to that are not currently in use are all things we're, in theory, trying to save. Yeah, we will use a lot of crafting materials. That is, you're not wrong. But I mean, I think for the most part, I did not go below like 40 of anything, besides the things that are easy to get numerous copies of, like Monster, Saliva, and what have you. So, yeah, deliberately still, I think, giving us a pretty large buffer there. So, could have gone more aggressively for sure, but deliberately held back a bit for that reason. So, noted, and I think we should still be fine for that reason, but thank you for raising that. Okay, so let's hop in here. And what can we do here? I don't know. Also, we're, oh, okay. We cannot use that now. Although apparently we can use that now. For a second, I was locked into an animation where Garrett was just like, step in, step in, step in, because he was trying to access that bookcase, but the door was in the way. So like, oh, okay, so we're stuck here for the rest of our lives. Gotcha. But anyways, let's just stash Dahlia. Iris is probably a sword we're going to want to put up on the wall. Oh, we should have sold the Toussaint Knight's steel sword. That was not... I mean, yes, it does have higher base damage, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be a sword that we actually want to use in the future, because it doesn't have the other stats we're looking for. Other things... This from Roach. And I think that's just about it. Because we even stash various old quest items that have a little bit of weight. I mean, for the most part, I think they're all quite light. In fact, they might all be 0.01 weight, in which case they're basically non-existent. We do have enough of them that collectively they do weigh something. Oh, we do have more gold. We do have more. We didn't sell everything. We actually have a lot more. Okay, maybe that's why we didn't shed quite as much weight as I was expecting. Let's stash our elf head. I think that's precious to us, and we don't want to lose that. Yeah, we have way more stuff. What? We have way more stuff over here. This is why we still have a bunch of weight. We have some junk that we either want to sell or break down, and we have other things that we just... that are still the valuables category. Okay. Yeah, I was a little curious as to why we still were fairly close to our maximum weight, even after all that. Put something in the front cellar entrance. What kind of thing? Okay, hold on. Check it out. Over here, like this? Oh! You don't say! When did we get that? When did we get that figurine? I mean, that's like, what? A quarter the usual size? Which is a little disappointing. But, it's a nice touch, nonetheless. Can we actually... Oh, we can use it for the power of Reginald. Oh, no, we can't. Wait, can we? No, we can't. Darn it. Only the original works. But yeah, definitely worth putting it there, to say the least. We also put in... Where are they?
The days pass. The pile of
This.
work remains.
And this. Yeah, so I think in that case we might actually just hop on back real quick in town, sell our remaining stuff, because, yeah, I mean, we have like at least 10, maybe even 20 or 30 weight units worth of stuffs, and I think we were starting to get encumbered fairly quickly and easily before, and if we're about to head off on a series of other quests, then, you know, we might as well prepare ourselves for that by doing our due diligence here.
Smearing his hiney with honey.
Excuse me? That person just said smearing his hiney with honey?
I'm watching your...
Oh, we can sleep as well. Does that... What, have we tried sleeping before? Do we know what sleeping does?
Quite the fragrant whiff. Do you know the color?
Okay, so this is the same guy we were talking to before, right? So he's, in theory,
Greetings.
doesn't have a ton of money left, because we did just buy, or sell a bunch of things to him.
What do you have on
Should
offer?
still be able to sell a fair bit, though. At least a reasonable amount. And, there are, I think, other tradespeople relatively close by. Because, yeah, I saw this huge gap, or this huge area of non-sellable things and thought, oh, well, oh no, this guy just won't buy them. Okay. Okay, so in that case, this may not necessarily be our man, but we could dismantle some stuff. I think is at least something we're interested in pursuing for this, to get some gold nuggets. Because the ring was surprisingly not so valuable, and the gold might actually help us craft some things in the future. Silver, we have plenty of that. Let's break you down for the meteorite. Likewise here, I mean, we do have a lot of meteorite, so it may not be totally necessary. Other things of interest to break down. What is this? Orcs? Orc is a wood, you know. So you know, it's not made of iron. Although those look like bottle caps. I don't know. Maybe that's just another name for bottle caps. Anything else? Get some other more unusual / new ore out of this? I'm sure. Not sure how valuable that really is, but just in case, I guess we'll get a little bit of that. I think we had some other materials that could give us some of that too. Yeah, we could get the steel as well. Sure. I mean, I don't really think we needed all that much, because we should have a ton of those things, but just in case, I mean, not running out of money anytime soon. I don't think we're running out of crafting materials anytime soon either. So, in general, I think we've done enough quests here that shouldn't be too concerned about much of any of that. But now I think we're looking at just what is purely junk, and apparently this guy does not buy that stuff from us. So we may need a generic merchant, and it looks like there is one not far away. So how do we get to said person, though? Are they in here?
Welcome, good sir.
Wait, spoken to this person before?
Emporium of diverse merchandise. Satisfaction guaranteed.
Very special, Cork. We have not spoken to this person before. Okay, let's trade.
Show me what you got back there.
Oh, what do we have here? Interesting. Paintings. Harvest Time in White Orchard. Herbalist Hut. Is this the one? We've been to many Herbalist Huts in the past. Van Rowe self-portrait. Didn't we learn that Van Rowe was actually like a cover name for Iris? Or something like that? Or maybe that was... I might be getting my fictional artist names mixed up. But, I mean, yeah. Why not buy all of them? Because I think we have a bunch of picture frames in our house, and none of them are currently in use. We might as well. Oh, it's Siri! We gotta get that one at the very least. Yeah, they're all surprisingly cheap. I was kind of trying to eye them and see, like, oh, if this is fine art, then surely some of it would be pretty expensive, but nope. It's not. It's also quite light, so even if we're running around with 20 pictures in our backpack, it's apparently not going to weigh us down. So, it sounds good to me. Sure. Why not? What is this? Deception of Edward? Oh, man. This is going to be a combination of references to things that have happened in The Witcher and actual pieces of fine art, if you will. What is this one? It's almost like a mirror. It is. Okay, so now let's see if you will buy things like, well, okay, just generic junk like teapot, sure. And the night lamp and what have you. Okay, that's for a quest, though. Wait, actually, no, those are both for quests. I mean, I'm pretty sure we finished them, but we'll just buy those back real quick. just in case. Oh, I forgot about this. Can we use the decorative shield anywhere in our house? That'd be cool if we could. So we're selling this. And basically all these things. And see, we're on like 79,000 here. I don't think this is going to be nearly as valuable as the ones that we were selling previously, because there's not quite as many of them. But, the silver fruit bowl is junk? Excuse me? Say so. Silver plate. I mean, these are all things that you, in some ways, you feel like, could be items you could use to decorate Corvo Bianco, but apparently not. Actually, perhaps more relevant than how much money we're going to get out of this is how much did this stuff actually weigh? That I'm curious to see. Yeah, like that. We had 1.5 weight units of just gold caskets alone. And gold is super heavy, right? At least in real life, so that does make some sense. But yeah, we had that theory that this stuff was starting to weigh us down quite a bit, and it was. I'll sell this guy some Vids tech as well. Just don't tell anyone about it. Okay, now this teapot is okay to sell. Candlesticks. We get to the furs and what. I mean, we got so much stuff in here. Yeah, we have 2.25 weight units of just hafts. Yeah, we had a lot of junk. We had a lot of junk. And yeah, I know the ink. We can, in theory, get some crafting materials that we might be able to use, make some of the dyes, but I think we have enough of those. We have a decent amount of those materials already. That shouldn't be a huge factor. Yeah, this is, we had what will probably amount to be about 50 weight units worth of junk, and junk alone. What? 2.4 from just chains? Man. This stuff was weighing us down. Like crazy. Look at all this. It doesn't end. It just doesn't end. Yeah, I can't say I'm going to miss the false teeth. I think it's fine getting rid of those. I feel like we're getting close to the end now, but then again, at this stage, who knows? Okay. I think that might have been the last item. Then we got the paintings we just purchased. And it was 1,000 coins worth of junk. Actually, we can get more from the books. Gonna keep our forks and knives and cutlery. Just in case. You never know. Witcher has to always be prepared, right? We put the shield in the same place as the paintings? Okay. That might be an interesting alternative. Alright. Apparently we made some quest progress? What? Hold on.
So long.
For what? Not sure. Anyways, in theory we can play this guy Gwent, and we should probably do that.
The best diverse wares in Tucson at the best prices.
Let's do it. And we'll go all in.
Instead of chatting, why not a quick game of Gwent?
Now we're talking.
I stock the lard of the Duchessa herself.
Okay, so I know we were talking about changing around our Skellige deck recently. I don't remember if we did that and then didn't actually play it. It was just sort of like setting it up for future use. Or if we actually used it, I don't remember. We were talking about it, though. I remember we were talking about it. So I don't know if that means we should be playing Skellige for this match, or if we should be waiting around. We were thinking we really want to get the Ermion card. That'd be quite helpful for us. But of course, we don't have it yet, and that would be a big pickup. So once we do get that, we'll definitely be looking to play Skellige. But do we go for it now? Do we not go for it now? I think we already sorted it. Yeah, I think we set it up. I just don't remember if we played it after we set it up, or if we just said for a future time, and not now. So we might have actually set it up after a match. Let's try it. Let's play it. Let's go for it. Okay, they'll go first. So we have Martyrum. We do have, ooh, 2 Berserkers, however, they're in different rows. So we can't Martyrum them both. So I think for that reason we need to prioritize. And I think the normal Berserker is probably preferable. Although, can we have Martyrum and Dandelion active and working in the melee row at the same time? Because Dandelion is basically Commander's Horn, which is a row effect. But does he actually count as a row effect, and therefore you can't have both that and Martyrum simultaneously, or does it still work? Both can be active? Okay. So in that case, I think we do prioritize the normal Berserker, get rid of the young Berserker. And let's see. We do have 2 Shield Maidens. Although we have Ceres as well. Ooh. That's unfortunate. Ceres brings all the Shield Maidens out, but we have all the Shield Maidens in our hand. So I think actually in that case, we might deliberately dump both the Shield Maidens and keep the young Berserker. Because these are providing precisely 0 additional value at the moment when we have Ceres in our hand, whereas this is at the very least 2 strength. Better than 0, so I think we dump these. And we got... thought it was a hero sound. Was it Geralt? I thought we already had Gelmer. Or maybe even the Mysterious Elf, and the other one we got was Scorch. Okay, so they're going monsters. And... So if we're strategizing here, we also have the War Longship with no pair to go along with it, but... I mean, that's 6 strength, so that is at least something, even when it's flying solo. So I think we play you, and then we'll go Martyrum. Or we could even play the Mysterious Elf and see if we happen to get any of the other Tight Bond units. That'd be kind of helpful, and we don't have any muster units, so we don't need to worry about having to wait to play this. I mean, we could potentially draw into the Shield Maidens, which would make Ceres weaker. That is true. I suppose, in theory, you should play Ceres and then the Mysterious Elf. We do have a muster? Do we? For counting Ceres? This is Tight Bond, not muster, right? Yeah. Yeah, Ceres. So, I'm just hesitant to commit to Ceres because she's such a huge play. Be nice to save her for round 3. So maybe we start off with just Hjalmar here. It's simple. Okay, speaking of muster. Oh, how I wish those had 5 strength and we could scorch all of them simultaneously. That'd be fantastic. So again, like, we have very strong cards. It's just a matter of when and where do we want to commit them. And I'm thinking of primarily the Berserker with Martyrum, and I'm thinking Ceres. Ceres is a little bit more of a bottleneck because we should play her before we play the Mysterious Elf. So, does that mean we throw down a huge card like Ceres now? Well, when we bring in the Shield Maidens, they will be the highest units, and they will be tied for the highest units simultaneously. So a Scorch, if they have one, would be pretty devastating, and we don't have any medics right now. So I think we probably try to wait that out. Let's play you, because that way, if we want to go the Scorch route, we're still okay with doing that. Okay, this will get 1 5-strength unit out there. So our Scorch is now somewhat better. It's worth 10 points. Might be good enough to give it a shot here. That might be good enough. And then once we do that, then we're suddenly able to play you, we're able to play Ceres, able to play Martyrum. So, yeah, I think we probably do. Yeah, if we... They have a pretty big lead, so there's definitely a chance they could end up passing soon. If we were to Scorch now, then they might not. But I think this is still possibly going to be the best value we get at Scorch, so I think we do it. And if they pass, then so be it. Then we'll play Saris. Yep, we'll probably play Saris to catch them here, because how many points is Saris worth? Saris is 10 herself, and the Shield Maidens are what? 12 apiece? They start off at 6 and double when they get played in the same row. Although we do really want to get Martyrim transform you. I mean, we could save it, I suppose, and use it for the Young Berserker if we really want to, because what we want to do here is we want to beat them with just one card. So, like, actually, Geralt is basically perfect in that sense. In that, that gives us just enough to pass them in one card, and we can still save Saris, which would be pretty nice. I think we go for that. And actually, whoa, I did not look at this before. So Muster can play cards from either your deck or your hand. Look at how many cards they have in their hand right now. 4. They played a few Musters, and I think some of those cards must have come from their hands. So if we play Geralt here, we pass them, and we'll pass here, and we have 2-card advantage, even after winning in round 1. Now, they do have their monster ability active here, where they'll carry over a 4 strength unit. Not that that's a huge factor, but we could even try to go for the victory here. Although, then again, in round 3, our leader ability is going to kick in, or our faction ability is going to kick in, and we're going to get those other units out from our graveyard. Do we even have enough for that to happen, though? We'll get you back, but I don't think it can work with the heroes, so we might as well play at least one non-hero unit here. It's a 46-point play in total. Are you serious? That's insane. Saris is so strong. Yeah, so I think what we want to do here is let's just play really anyone other than Saris in order to have a card that comes back from our graveyard in round 3. And if we play you, and it's just enough to force them into playing another card. So what we're trying to do is we play this, force them into playing one of their best cards, and then we'll pass, and we'll give them the round 2 win. But it's mostly just to set us up for the ideal round 3. So let's do this. And we're kind of hoping they play something big here. Well, leader ability. What does it even do? It doubles melee row. It is unfortunately just enough for them to take the lead here. Now, it's not a big play in this round. If this were to be a full-length round, then it would start to become a pretty significant factor, because I imagine they're going to have a lot more cards in that melee row eventually. But we probably do just pass here. And, yeah, I think we're fine, having forced them to use what was one of their stronger abilities. They'll presumably pass here. And again, they'll have the 4 power carrying over. But we're going to have 2 cards coming out here. At least we should, I believe. There they are. And that means we can still use Martyrim here, even on this guy in the melee row. So I do like that. Okay, Crones are very good. Are any of those cards? One of those cards came from their hand. That means we have significant card advantage here. So what we can do is, because they only have 2 more cards remaining, we can wait to play Saris until after they've already passed, and then they have no way of responding to it. Let's deliberately start off with our weaker cards, or our cards that don't immediately put strength on the board. So, like, for example, Mysterious Elf here. Well, I mean, we would like to, but we still do want to play Saris first. This is the only card we can play that will minimize or avoid having the strongest card out there. Remind me what our leader ability is, though. Oh, it's passive. Okay, so it's not like we can spend a turn using that, so let's play this. Okay, then you Commander Sword, which is actually significant. I mean, Scorch would be fantastic here against them, right? Getting rid of 36 strength would be pretty sweet. But what we want to do here is, if we go Dandelion, then our highest unit is an 8. So if they have Scorch, it doesn't do anything for them. Okay, it's actually, what is that, range nerf? Should be fine. We have 2 strength and only 2 strength there, so we lose 1 in the process. So now we play Saris. They have no way of responding to it. So how many points is it? Oh, if we have Dandelion, then yes. Yes, it does become absolutely ginormous. That's why. Okay, gotcha. I was like, surely it can't be that big just by itself. But with Dandelion doubling them, yeah, it's humongous. So now we go with Martyrdom as well. And that makes this even bigger in the melee row. And then for good measure, we throw out the Mysterious Elf and just see what we get. Obviously, we've already won at this stage, but oh man! Oh man, look at this. Okay, so this is unfortunate that they did, in fact, do a range row nerf, because this was pretty sweet that we ended up getting Martyrdom out of this. But this was the big one that I was most excited about, because I was talking about getting the chance to destroy all of those crones. Well, we earned luck. Because down they go. Almost a 100-point win. Almost. Yeah, I think we're still waiting on getting our last maiden. But we'll see what we get out of this. Land Demon Pirate. Let's check it out. I'm not sure we have one of those yet. Sounds pretty generic. Not really expecting much. 6 strength. Kills the strongest cards. Whoa! It's a Scorch. It's a different kind of Scorch. That is nifty. Has certainly the potential to backfire on you, but with the right kind of timing, that could be a huge add. That's a card that I think we'd like to add to our deck here. But what, if anything, would we remove to make room for it? I mean, we could just add it for the sake of adding it. Our deck was pretty big. I think we deliberately reduced the size of it a bit, but it is still on the larger side. It can even Scorch itself. Interesting. There's a card in the Gwent standalone game that is like this, in that it destroys, except it's sort of the opposite. It destroys the lowest powered unit on the side of whichever person has the most units out there. So this one is like just when you play it the first time around, whereas the card in the standalone game does it every single turn. So it can become crazy powerful, and this does remind me of that a little bit. And partially because that card can in fact destroy itself as well. But okay, that one is probably going to get us in trouble at some point, but it's going to be fun. So let's add it.